What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today's post is titled Matrix and Pattern. And as it's a dialogue between Matias and his higher self, I'd be referring to Matias as me and his higher self as I am. Me. If there is a duality on which we all base ourselves and in which we walk, that is the duality, matrix and pattern. We have already talked about both, but not as the polarity it represents in our lives. We have said that matrix comes from Latin and means uterus, gestation womb, which gives rise to the word mother. And on the other hand, patron comes from the Latin protector, which gives rise to the word father, papa. But what is the relationship between the two of them beyond mom and dad, gestator and protector? I am. Visualize a spider web. The entire fabric of the network is what you call the matrix. They are all possible interconnected paths as a whole. Now, each of the fabrics that compose it are the individual paths of the network, each one carrying a specific vibration, and they are called patterns. The divine matrix, then, is the cosmic fabric made up of millions of patterns. Without patterns, the matrix would not recognize its structures, its strength, or its destiny. But without the matrix, the patterns would have no purpose or meaning. Me. So we need the matrix to make sense and the pattern to have goals. I am. As we said, the matrix is a network of networks, an eternal and multi-dimensional network, like an extensive cave full of thousands of cobwebs that intersect each other, creating a single matrix. It crosses all dimensions, all existences, connects all directions of time and space, and multiplies with more and more web spiders. Me. Who are the spiders? I am. They are the alchemists of reality, those who were able to understand how reality works and were able to build their own. Spiders are not those dark creatures of nightmares. In them, the pattern of the divine fabric hides 8 legs that represent the 4 directions of time and space, creating the cube, the center of the cosmic fabric. And with its 8 eyes, it contemplates, feels, perceives. The resonance, vibration of these paths, weavers, are those who cross the directions of time and space from the center of the network, feel the resonance, and consciously observe everything that happens in them. Me. Is it possible then that what I'm doing in my life is preparing to be a spider? I am. That's right. Joining the network, being in the axis of the fabric of planetary consciousness. Every day you place yourself in the center of the fabric, in a cube, from which you pull the resonance of the 4 times and the 4 spaces. And to do it each time more consciously, you work on your patterns, the strings that connect the web. Each topic that we are working on represents a pattern. Well, one of those structures of the network that I must adjust in myself in order to feel the vibration. I am. The history of humanity exists thanks to the patterns. Without patterns, you would not be here. The biology of this world was designed to protect itself from external conflicts. Thus, every cell of your body is programmed to defend your being and to ensure its sustenance. That which has managed to protect you, which has been successful, keeps repeating itself constantly, proudly. Thus, what protected you can always continue to protect you, becoming a pattern. Culturally, hominoids have put the hunter and warrior man in that role, and over time, they knew him as the patron of the family, the chief, the father. Families, then, began to be guided by laws and instructions from the father, who also became patrons. The defense for survival placed above all paternalistic system that ended up becoming the power of the father, patriarchy. Thus, any system that is available to the structure of war, defense, control, whether directed by a man or a woman, is recognized as patriarchy, not by the male, but by the struggle, supremacy, and defense. Thus, throughout the history of each family, patterns began to repeat themselves with the aim of protecting the integrity of the nucleus and the clan. But there is a notion that patterns are bad. Why? I am. Because patterns are based on fear and insecurity in the face of change, transformation. They ensure permanence. For this reason, when a person seeks to change in his life, he begins to identify the patterns that prevent him from doing so and is forced to fight against them to make his way to something new. It looks like a fly stuck in spider's webs. So the bosses are there to defend us and ensure our lives, but they hold us back and prevent us from continuing to live in freedom if we seek to get out of them. I am, because their mission is precisely to keep you stable without transformation, because there's a risk of dying. Therefore, the family, cultural, social, educational, religious, philosophical, and scientific systems will do everything possible to fight against whoever wants to break the patterns on which they are based. And how do I get out of the patterns? I am, as we already said, you have to understand what they were there for in the first place. A pattern is a well-traveled path. You cannot retrace a path. You cannot unlearn an acquired knowledge or wisdom, but you can redefine them and give them a new meaning or purpose. The reason for being of a pattern is to ensure your survival through a way of acting. Therefore, show your life, your family, your body, your soul, that you can use another form, transcendental, to obtain the same outcome. For example, There are many people who believe that throughout their history they have survived as a family thanks to the tolerance of the same partner all their lives. And then they tirelessly seek to find a partner to feel safe. However, when one becomes aware, know that you don't need another person to feel stability and security. So you have to show life that you can find that stability by loving freely without always having to look for a partner. It is a very general example, but common, since you are mammals. Me, yes, I understand. It is something very of the species. And why do we think that pattern is the opposite of matrix? Well, if a pattern is a line, the matrix is all the weaving of lines. The pattern marks a path to where to go, and the matrix wraps in all directions with nowhere to go. These two concepts have something in common in the human notion. Everyone wants to get rid of mom and dad. They see the matrix as a prison and the pattern as a mandate. Both prevent free action. You are determined by what mom and dad have done. The matrix is the generating network. It's not a trap. It is the vibration that connects everything and crosses all existence. It's eternity. Me, love, I am. And the pattern is the fundamental force that drives us to realize oneself, to seek, to build. It is the intention that leads to transforming action. Me, the will, I am, and together they manifest understanding. The ability to recognize that every impulse is the tool that allows us to create from the eternal vibration and integrate the fruits of what we have been able to generate. Me, wisdom, I am. Love and will are the parents of wisdom, the sacred trinity of divine attributes, the balance of both networks, the matrix and the pattern, lead to the taking of full consciousness in learning what it is to be and to manifest. Both paths unify the eternal and the finite, the fabric of existence from which we learn and improve at each step. Thus, the patterns are the tools constituted to allow us to continue on the path. And these tools have given us the skills to use them. You cannot forget them, but you can learn new tools, improve them, improve your technique. And by discovering this potential, you express creativity, love, expression, life, and both concepts generate the meaning of your existence. You become wise. Therefore, when you recognize that matrix and pattern are neither external nor opposite aspects. Me, well, the freedom of being is only found when you are able to become the creator yourself from the wisdom of your experience, manifesting with will a generation of love. I am. Look at everything that this matrix taught you, everything that your patterns showed you, and turn them into your wisdom to recreate the great web that lights from your heart. Me. I am the network of the matrix and the pattern, converted into the wisdom that awakens the will and love in all the paths of creation.